So we're going to install Office for free, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. It's not that hard. It's just a little bit lengthy, and it's easily accomplished, and you can do this free of charge. And technically, it's a gray area as far as the legitimacy of it, but Microsoft is not going to come after you if you're using it for home purposes. And because the method of activation of the license is not through a purchase key, it's through online activation. You have options like KMS or a Mac, but we are going to be using a GitHub Massgrave script that uses HD, HWID type of activation, and I can't describe that exactly, but we have the link and you can read that on the page, the GitHub repository. So the items that you need, you're going to need the Office deployment tool, the Office customization tool, and I have the links right here. We're going to go there and get those. And then you're going to need to create a folder on your desktop to extract those files into. And then once we do that, there's some commands we need to run. But the very first thing is we need to download the Office deployment tool, and then do the online customization. So it's very easy. You just go to search for usually be the first link, of course, Microsoft, and you choose your language, download it, and it's the most recent, so there you go. And we're just going to save it on the downloads folder for now. Okay, that's easy enough. And then the next thing, we're going to go to Microsoft Office customization tool. I'll walk you through how to set it up. Okay, so I'm going to be using the example that I have installed already. It's already installed, but I'll just repeat the process with you step by step. So based on your machine, I have a 64-bit, so I'm choosing 64. You just go through these steps and choose the parameters that you want. And you can choose really anything that you want. You can choose, you'll see. So I have 64-bit, and these are the different Office suites. I mean, look at all that. You got apps for enterprise, apps for business, LTSC Professional Plus, the latest edition. I'm actually going to try that since I already have 2019 installed. And the principles for activation would apply the same. But ideally, want a volume license for long term so that you will continually be able to use the license, and volume license is often better and more rewarding, and you don't have to deal with subscription monthly or yearly updates and whatnot, and that volume license stays tied to your machine. So I'm going to choose LTSC Professional Plus 2024 volume license. And the one that I have installed now is Office Professional Plus 2019. But I'm going to do 2024. And I'm going to actually try to install it side by side and see what happens. And I'm not going to be selecting any Visio or project additional products, but I think I want project 2024. And then the update channel is going to be the Office LTSC Perpetual Enterprise. You want the latest version. And if you wanted to learn about the channels and the different types of updates, you go there. And here are the apps on there. I do not want all of these. I don't want desktop. I'm sorry, I don't use OneDrive. I avoid it at all costs. I don't like Skype. I don't use that, but I want to use the other ones. I don't even really use Access. I don't do database work really, but it's good to have in case you ever need it. So I'll just leave it default. Access, Excel, OneNote is the must. Outlook, Publisher, PowerPoint, and Word, of course, is a must, and Excel. So leave those default, and then I'm going to hit Next. Primary language. I speak English, so I'm choosing English. You can choose additional languages and proofing tools. And you can really get into the depths of customizing this deep. I'll show you next. So we're going to use the method of deployment is the content delivery network. And you show the installation to the user. Scroll down, next. Update and upgrade. We're going to leave it the default settings, Office Content Delivery Network, automatically check for upgrades. And we're going to uninstall any previous versions of these products, but there's no previous versions because this is a fresh VM that we're running this in. So that's another layer of security, special if you're doing testing work or private work or research work, that we're using a virtual machine for security. So we're running it in a container, and it's much harder for a hacker to get in when you're running a VM in a secure virtualized environment. So we're going to hit next, and then license and activation, we're going to accept the license. And then what I'm going to do is it gives you a default key, KMS. Mac, I don't know enough about that to explain, but we're going to be modifying a little bit after to get it to actually activate correctly, because we don't have quote unquote technical product keys. And then what you do is you hit next, and then what you can do is, I forgot, you can do this customization with the application preferences. Now this gets intense. You can go through each and every application and customize it exactly how you want. So like in Office you can, and let's say for Word, you can enable or disable live preview. You can show many toolbar and selection, deletion colors, ignore white space. So let's just do a couple of them. Enable live preview, not configured. I'm going to make it true so we can see a true live preview. Show mini toolbar on selection. Word, it's not enabled by default, so I'm going to make it true. And therefore and so forth. You can go on. Now these are default settings that you can totally configure and master how you want them, specific to your need. And you have all these options. It's really an array of choices. You got Word options, File tab options, Review tab, Collaboration settings, and miscellaneous. Security, Advanced Security. Let's say Smart Cut and Paste. Let's go. So Advanced Security. I want Advanced Security. I want to be able to encrypt. Let's go. Security. Okay, so I don't know why it did that, so whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to take up too much time. I'm trying to keep this light and simple because we got a little bit work to do. So essentially we're finished. You can go and double check your settings by just scrolling up and then reviewing them. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit finish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to export it simply as an XML format. That's what you want. It's going to name it configuration.xml. Then you're going to place it in that little new folder that you made on your desktop. And then you have to accept the Microsoft license. Scroll down. Everyone should read these licenses, even though they don't. They just accept the terms blindly and go ahead with having no real clue of the ramifications if they can get into legal trouble, what Microsoft is capable of doing to wreck your life if they wanted to do that. But they're not about that. They got bigger fish to fry. So you just name a configuration, and then, oh, I'm sorry, configuration dot xml. No, I'm sorry. You don't put in a file extension. It's gonna automatically. So I'll just leave it default how it was. Configuration with a capital C. Configuration. And then it's gonna name it XML. And then we can save it to, since I didn't make a window on my desktop, I'll do that real quick. We go to the right to view desktop. So I have the My Office 2019 set up already. What I just installed. And I'm going to go to new folder. I'm going to call this Office 2024. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to my browser windows. And we're going to desktop, Office 2024, double click on it, make sure you're in there, save it. Okay, so that's done, and we have our Office deployment tool. So now what you want to do is go to your downloads folder, and we want to extract the Office deployment tool into this right here, into that folder on the desktop. And it's very easy. You just go like this. Oh, I don't have 7-zip installed. Ugh, crap. I have to install 7-zip real quick. Give me a moment. So default for HTML is going to be Chromium. Set up for MHTML. Chromium. For PDF, I want Chromium. HTTPS, HTTP, Chromium, HTTPS, Chromium. Okay, So I just did that real quick, and then we can download the 7-zip. Now you should usually check the file hash for anything you download online. I don't, so I'm not a good example for that, but most intelligent people double check with file hashing tools and whatnot. You can easily do for free in Windows in PowerShell or Command Prompt. Check the hash of a file. You can do it in 7-zip. I forgot how to do it, but I'm not going to worry about it now. It's usually safe download. And another great tool is to always check your downloads at virustotal.com. You just upload the file you downloaded, and then it checks it against a bunch of different um, providers or whatnot, and you could see if it's clean based on green checks. If it's red, then it's malicious. So we're getting the 64-bit version executable. Isn't that lovely? And we're going to put it in the downloads folder. Save. Then we can go there. Right click, install as administrator. And I need to get OneDrive uninstalled fast. Okay. Okay, and then I can come back here and go to here. We want to extract 7-zip. Show more options. It will be in the menu, and we're going to extract files to, and then desktop, Office 2024. You choose that folder. Okay. All right. It looks like there was an error, but we'll find out now. Oh, okay. So here it is. So what we have to do is just take this setup and put this setup. Now, very carefully, we're going to put the setup, not this default configuration file, not the EULA, but this setup file in Office 2024. You want those together, okay? So we can close that, and then we can close that, and then we can look in here, and we can take that, just put it on the desktop. You only want 2 files in the folder, and they should look exactly like that: configuration and setup. Now, this you can set it up in different ways. You can double click and try to install it. Sometimes that often leads to an error. I can't explain why that error happens, but the proper way to deploy it is what I'm going to show you now. So how you would do that is you want to open a PowerShell, or I should say Command Prompt. We'll start with Command Prompt as administrator, or you don't even have to do administrator, but I usually just do by default CMD, and then right click, run as administrator. And then first we want to find the folder. Oh, hold on a second. Wait. My instructions. I'm missing a set of instructions. Okay. Okay, we want to get the path of this folder, and then we want to cd into it, and then we want to run this command once we're CD'd into it. So first, we got to get the path of the folder. And how you do that is you go up, you're going to right click on the folder, and you're going to go to show more options. I'm sorry, it's right here. Control Shift C, copy as path. Okay, then you're going to type here CD space, whoops, and then hit Control V. We want to get into that folder. Hit enter. Okay, so now we're in that path. We're in the folder where we're going to run this next command. Which might not work, and I might have to get help to change the command because it's very tricky depending on how you're running it in. Okay, so I'm going to try this. Copy this command. setup.exe configure configuration.xml, and we're probably going to get an error. It's going to say the path is not found or whatnot, but it might work. If it doesn't work, I'll move on and find the correct code, because they have to adjust the parsing depending if you're in command prompt or PowerShell. So we'll see if that works. Aha! Okay. Okay, so that command works, and the reason why we can't install it is because I already have a command installed. So technically right now, if you were to run that command and you follow the steps exactly how I did them, and the steps will also be available in this right here, this file that I'll include. If you follow those steps, technically it will begin to install. Once it's done installing, don't open the app. Just click out of it, uncheck the box, open apps. Once it's finished, you know how it usually has that little box? Uncheck it, close it out, don't open it, don't do nothing yet. Now we're going to go to the next step. Okay. So for those of you that maybe have downloaded the wrong version and you want to convert it to a volume license, you have to run these commands right here first. First, you find the location of your Office install, which I'm going to do right now, and you're going to follow me along these steps, because these steps I have not done yet. All I have done is installed. Okay, but now I have to change the path, because we need to find where Office, my version, actually installed 2019. I'm not going to bother with trying to uninstalling and reinstalling 2024. That's just going to take too long. So we're going to try to find the path where Office was installed, and one of these two commands should work. So I'm going to try both of them. Copy that command. I'm going to see if this works. Can't find the path. Okay. Something about the newer Windows 11, these commands aren't where the Office lies, but we'll find it easily in just a moment. Copy that command. See if it's in there. Can't find that. That's what I suspected, because I ran into that yesterday. So we have to do a little hunt and grind. Oh, I know. It's very simple. You go to your file manager and you go to your C drive. I'll just do this manually because it's better to know really visually instead of just blindly entering commands if you don't know where they're going or what they're doing. It's better to have an idea. So you want to first see if it's in program files, Microsoft Office, um, 15, I believe it is. No, it's not in there. They put it in a secret spot. Um, let's see. Okay, so it could be in x86, Microsoft. No, that's Edge. I need to get rid of OneDrive really bad. I'm looking in the wrong folder. I'm on my Windows desktop. My bad. I need to go in the file manager in here. Okay. How easily you can get confused with virtual machines, but they're the best. Anyways, you go into local disk, program files. Should be here, but that's not it. Should be maybe here now. Yeah, that's it because it's 4.44 gigabytes. So we'll find the path right now. Go to Office, go to Root, go to Office 16, and then our Office installation is here. So we need to copy this address as text. Just click on the bar, copy that address as text, copy, and then here we want to go to type CD space Control V so we get into that path. Now we're in the root path. Now we can run this command, convert the retail to volume license, and it might not work and it might work depending on if it downloaded and deployed the correct version, because Microsoft is notorious for downloading different versions, even different other than what you just deployed. That's another whole nother story. Anyways, I'm going to copy and paste. Copy. Make sure I select all the characters, no spaces, no errors. I'm going to click in here, right at the cursor, right click, and hit enter. It says cannot find the path specified. Okay, so now this is where I need a heavy lifter. I might need to be running this in PowerShell and not CMD also. Okay, so the correct path is not this one. The correct path that we need is this one right here, and I'm going to put it right here in this here. So we want to go to CD here. So let's type this path right here, copy and paste, copy. We want to CD into that path. Okay, now we're in the licenses path. Okay. Okay. So here is the full command. Copy. Okay. Delete. And then I'm going to hit enter and then Control V. So now that we're in the right path, it's the licenses. Remember that. It's this last one, licenses, not the first two. And then I updated the command. It was actually the same command. We're just in a different path. So now we run this, and it's going to convert to volume if it's not already converted. It may be, but we don't know for sure. So we do this extra step to guarantee. So right click, copy, and then click right there, exactly at the cursor, paste, and then hit enter. Can't find the script. Okay, so it might already be volume license. So now we can get out of there and go straight to the activation, which we're going to use the GitHub Massgrave. So you come here to this site here, hit copy, and I'm going to follow these steps here. Okay, so we're going to use PowerShell, but first we need to download the release. Let's read this. License, read me. Okay. Download, how to use it. Okay. Do not download from the below source code zip link. Check the above link for the info. This is where we need to go. Okay. So now we're going to just follow this complete process right here. We don't have to download anything, I don't believe. We're going to try this first. Okay. So we go to PowerShell. So you get into PowerShell. Oops, I'm not in the same windows again. Need to go here. Right click. Oh, so they don't hold PowerShell in that menu anymore. So just type power. And I need to install the new PowerShell 7. So I just go to PowerShell. Doesn't have to be administrator. And then we're going to run these one by one. For Windows 10, 8, and 11. Okay. We're doing Office. Okay, so let's copy and paste this command. That's what they say, so we're going to try it. And then we're going to see what happens. It's going to download something. It's downloading. Yes. Good news. Alright. So it downloaded. We didn't get blocked. Okay, there it is. Boom, we're there. So now, the activation menu will appear. Choose the green highlighted options to activate Windows or Office. And boom, you're done. So we want the HWID. And OHook is Office. So OHook is for Office. HWID is for Windows, but we want number 2 because we're doing it for Office, not Windows. I apologize. I didn't mean to get you confused earlier. I did mention HWID type of activation based on what I read, but I misread it. So it's OHook. So don't select 1, just select 2. So now it's asking me to install the OHook Office activation. Yes. So I hit 1. It's gonna run through some tests. I didn't even know. Why is my Windows is supposed to be 11 Home? I don't know why it says Windows 11 Pro. I did not install Windows 11 Pro. I installed Windows 11 Home. Oh God, whatever. I'm trying to keep this a very minimal, isolated environment, not too much extra power, super user power, because when you have super user power, then you have a lot more prone to subject to attacks and vulnerabilities, because the more control you have, the more control you have to manipulate that control also, if you know what you're doing. So I'm trying to prevent any of that kind of activity to the best of my ability, with having a secure, isolated environment on a public network separate from any other devices. We don't use a private network. Even though we're in a home lab, we use a public. I don't trust my home environment. Even it's like a zero trust policy I follow. And so anyways, it's done. It says it's successfully activated, and it's permanently activated, basically. I could press any key to go back. Maybe I want to screenshot this. Okay, got it. Just let me do this, okay? And I'll just put this in my little notes I got going here. Oh, this is not RTF, so I can't paste a picture in it. Darn it. That's what I was looking for, was WordPad. But anyways, I can just save it as a picture just for reference. And then I go like that. And it's not giving me the annotation tools. Here we go. There we go. So we just want to save it. We could annotate it, mark it up, whatever. I'm just saying this is successful. Success. I can't spell successful. Can't spell. Wow. Anyway, successful activation. GitHub Massgrave. Save. And then honestly, you need to read about those different types of activations on your own time and find out the differences between the KMS, the MAC, the HWID, and this type of O hook that we just did. And then we can close out. We can close this out, and then we can open Office now and actually see if it's activated. We'll find out very shortly. So we'll come here. Oh god, they put Teams in. I don't want Teams. Uninstall. I don't want, do not want OneDrive. And I'm going to do a registry fix on that to permanently disable OneDrive from even coming back. So let's see. Here's Word. And then how you can tell is you can just go over here to options. Okay. And then you go to options. I'm sorry, that didn't do it. Go back to file, then account. Boom. Bam, 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 bam. It's activated. Bam, 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 bam. It's activated. Bam, 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 bam. It's activated. Bam, 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 bam. And it's actually not the version that I downloaded, but it activated anyways. This is 365 for Enterprise. I downloaded 2019. So why did it activate for 365 Enterprise? I don't know. So that goes back to what I had mentioned earlier about sometimes it downloads a different version. Well, I'm not going to complain. We'll see if it works and how long it will work for. But theoretically, it should work indefinitely if you keep your eye on it, keep the updates active, and don't be too tweaky with the settings. Double check your privacy settings and your trust center settings inside the Word apps, inside the Office apps. Always look at the trust center settings and make sure you know what type of activity is running at the internet. If you have plugins installed and add-ons, they access the internet, and you want to make sure that's securely done. You don't want remote installs of unsecure plugins, so you want to double check that. But that will end it for today. That was a little tutorial on how to install Office. Legit, quick, and easy, and free, thanks to the GitHub developers. Thanks to Microsoft. Thanks to the Massgrave project. Have a nice day. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.